Just while we're on the topic of love, none of the listeners asked this question, but I have benefited from advice from both of you. So I want to ask you guys a question. It's a very specific question, but if you want to answer a broader question about love, feel free. The specific question that I have is when because you had previous relationships and then the person you married, sometimes it's that like you could have married a previous person, but you weren't ready. And sometimes it's just that like, oh, you met the right person. But was there a quality or like a test that you had to overcome to be ready when the right person came in your life? And is there something that you've observed in other people? Like maybe it's something specific to you, but maybe there's also something universal. You've noticed that until someone X, Y, or Z, it's just not going to work out for them. Like there's like some internal qualities that have to be there for you to be ready for marriage. I'm just curious about that.
Totally, yeah. Well, because when I met Domino, she already had a son. The casual nature in which most relationships can start just wasn't there. And so it was pretty clear for me early on if I was going to go past any point, any at all, like I really wanted to feel like, I don't know if I would have said marriage. I don't know what I would have said when I met her, but I knew that something was changing for me already. And by the way, I was becoming a Baha'i. And, I stopped drinking. I no drugs of any kind, even though I wasn't ever like super into any of that. Just the importance of like fidelity. Just thinking about all the things that I already felt and knew were then completely illuminated and highlighted, and so it just became very clear to me like the importance of long-lasting, trusting relationships.
Yeah, I think for me, there was a very clear shift between previous relationships and David. And that was, I made the decision to have a period of friendship first with the person that I thought maybe there could be something more, because I hadn't done that in previous relationships and they were not working out. And I realized through like conversations with my dad specifically, that the process was like initial attraction, immediately talking about it, deciding we wanted to, thinking that we were being very intentional, deciding like we want to get to know each other with the idea of marriage in the future, like just like very serious dating right away, which meant that I was getting to know them in the dating process. And it meant that I was already I was already falling in love and like maybe infatuation before I really knew them. And so when things would come up, maybe there would be like things that it became clear like, oh, we wouldn't be compatible in this way, or I don't know how I feel about this quality, this character trait. I was already so attached. And I decided after my last relationship before David, I really want to extend this period of friendship in getting to know someone, because I don't want to put myself in that position again where I feel like not trapped necessarily. I never felt trapped, but that's what I was doing to myself. I was trapping myself in a situation that wasn't going to be good because I was so attached already. And so I did that with David. We were friends for quite a while before we ever acknowledged that there were feelings, like the better part of a year. And I think that was crucial. I would suggest that to most people. It doesn't have to be the better part of a year, but just like give yourself time to actually get to know a person where there's low stakes,
That might be the hottest take of any ever, that you're a proponent of the friend zone.
Yeah, I really am. And it's true. I think it's very hard to do that nowadays. It's very hard not to immediately launch into dating.
I think the thing that I've been learning, something that I've previously felt is like I don't like people very often, but then when I do, I'm like, oh my God, I never feel this way. So let me just like open my heart wide open, because this happens every 5 years or something. So I feel like there's a couple related things. One is just like, I just need to meet more people, because there are so many great people. Like I should be feeling that way more often. I shouldn't be feeling that once every 5 years. I should be feeling that like every couple weeks. Like, oh, I'm kind of open to this person. Let's see.
Nava's entering her slutty era. I want to proclaim it from the
I was going to say the other day, Penn texted me, there was like a circumstantial context, but no context that morning. And he was like, have you entered your slutty era yet? And it was like, I woke up to this text. It was so funny. I laughed so hard.
It was right on time.
It was right on time.
It was
perfect. So just like meeting people more often. And then I sort of agree with Sophie. Like, I don't know if I would call it just being friends, but I think like just low stakes, like easy come, easy go. You don't have to get attached, because if you're meeting a lot of people, you're not putting so much pressure on like this one person that you feel a connection with. I think you can be more detached, and I think you can make more clear-headed decisions from a detached place, and not overinvest when it's like too soon. So that's what I'm trying to do.